So cheers, happy Friday, happy
Cheers.
5 o'clock,
Cheers.
happy wine o'clock,
Yes.
weekend. So today's episode's a bit of a special one. We have Kerry Phairs here from Beyond Brilliant Foundation. Kerry, tell us a bit about your journey.
It was a sad journey, but good things happen. My husband was diagnosed with brain tumours back in 2013, and he lived for 9 months. And during that time, we faced a lot of challenges, as you can imagine. But something he said not long, just a week or so before he passed, was he asked me to do what I could to help others with this disease in their head. For us, it was a lonely journey, and it really highlighted to us how little was known. I'd lost a cousin 12 years prior to brain cancer, and it really highlighted that not much has changed in that 12 years. And I don't have the medical background, but I do have the experience of living and caring for somebody with brain cancer. So that's how Beyond Brilliant was formed, or why it was formed, to help others going through it if they're feeling lonely or needing somebody to hold their hand. And that's where we're at now.
So what does the foundation, it's not so much raising money for research, but it's raising money for?
Support.
Yeah.
Within the next 8 months, we want to have a 24-hour helpline, so via telephone, via the email, via Facebook. But the money that we raise will go towards setting up the 24-hour phone line. So, because sometimes you can't wait when you need an answer, or you need somebody to talk to, you can't wait for an email response. You need to talk to somebody right then, right there, whether it just to calm you down or to pep you up.
Yeah. Or, to
just
ask
to
the question,
think, yeah.
too, is like, is this normal? My husband or my wife is going through this, and and giving that reassurance that maybe, this is part of the process, or
someone to listen.
Yeah.
And we have the gorgeous Jane Meredith from Secrets on the couch today too. How involved did you obviously put your hand up straight away with Secrets. You've designed this gorgeous beanie that's going to be travelling. So tell us all about that journey and that story.
Well, I met Kerry. My little involvement in this is watching the Logies, not the last Logies, the one before, where Carrie Bickmore put their beanie on her head to raise awareness for brain cancer, and because of her partner passing. And I thought to myself, wow, we could really help there. And I had this vision immediately of this brilliant beanie, and with stones all over it, and looking absolutely gorgeous and getting attention. And then the next day, and I thought to myself, I'm not sure what to do about that or how. And the next day I met Kerry at a function, and we just really fell into each other, didn't we? It was one of those. And I said to her, I was just watching the Logies last night, and we got chatting about that, and then she explained to me that she'd lost her partner from brain cancer, and I thought, wow, this is such a synergy, from that night to here. So then I knew what I needed to do with that. So we developed the beanie. It has about close to 1,700 stones on it.
Yes, my 12-year-old says to me, is it worth like $1 million?
Yes, it is. It's priceless, actually, because we always say, what price can you put on, helping those touched by brain cancer? So that's our priceless piece of wearable art.
Yes.
My mother actually sewed it, which we're really proud of, and it's there to raise awareness and to raise funds, and that's what we're doing with it. So it's going on a roadshow around Australia.
I was going to say, what's in store for the beanie this year?
Well, it's going to go on a roadshow to all the stores and all the Secret stores around Australia and be on show there. People can purchase tickets, raffle tickets for the beanie, not to win the actual beanie, because obviously that's going to stay as our mascot.
As a mascot, yeah.
Our wearable piece of priceless art. And but there is a beautiful prize, of beautiful prize of jewellery, $3,500 jewellery package that will be raffled off on behalf of the beanie, and the funds will go to this. The funds for this beanie will go to Carrie Bickmore's beanies for brain cancer.
Yes.
Mainly because she owns the beanie, you know. So Kerry is collaborating with her company or her charity.
Her charity, yeah.
And we'll be selling jewellery in our stores, and funds from that will go to the Beyond Brilliant Foundation. And we just work really closely with each other to make this happen and make it work. So we're really, really proud.
Yeah.
Really, really pleased. And this lady is a big inspiration, a major inspiration in my life, in everyone's life.
So, Kerry, how can people get involved with the foundation? What can they do to show their support? And
they can visit our website, beyondbrilliant.org. They can go to our Facebook page. They can send us an email. We have people from all over Australia knitting beanies for us. So every week I'm going to the post box and getting these fantastic beanies, all in different shades of blue with different crochet stitches.
Oh, lovely.
And we take them to the oncology units.
oh, perfect.
So it's not only people with brain cancer that are benefiting from that, but these are ladies, and there's actually a gentleman as well that sends us beanies.
Oh,
That's so good.
So it's all these little things, and they've just contacted us through Facebook. What can we do? We can knit. So they do that. Another lady, she'll talk to people in her state. So there's lots to do, and we'll be having quarterly functions. We had our first launch where we launched the Brilliant Beanie. Always needing volunteers to help on those days, and just be aware. Our main thing is we don't want to leave anybody alone.
Yep. And make sure they look out for the Brilliant Beanie and Secret stores near them.
Yes.
one of the things, if I can just say, what amazed me at our launch was a lady that Kerry had touched base with just before, had connected with, and Kerry asked her to come up and talk about her journey, and what she talked about really was an eye-opener for me. And she said how many people in their lives, and she lost her husband, they thought that by having brain cancer there was something mentally wrong with you. And that astounded me to think that they had to go through that. So it is the awareness. It is raising awareness for what it is, and for so that people can live as normally as they can through it, without having to deal with that side of it, and just deal with trying to get better, and trying to cure it, and trying to find ways of curing it.
So there was a topic on the news that trended this week where a couple are holding off getting married and asking the question because her father is overseas on a holiday. My question is, are we still living in a archaic society where we think we need to ask the father's permission to marry the daughter? Kerry?
You can
Being the married one on the couch.
I think it's nice. Mark, because my father and mother had already passed when Mark and I met, Mark asked my brother.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was weird because he's 3 years younger than me.
But he's the male.
It was out of respect.
Yeah.
I think it's a very nice, respectful thing to do. Is anyone going to take it as permission?
Yeah. What happens if the father says no?
I know. Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah.
What do I do now? What do you think, Jane?
Maybe that. Well, I suppose I've always worked on the basis that, you know, there are traditions in every lifestyle, and I think that those traditions, if they're important to those people, I think it's really important. So I don't see it as one way or the other. And that's a bit of fence sitting on. But I think it's. I'm just wondering why they don't email the father in this.
Yeah, you're right. Facebook.
Facebook
text him and wait for the response.
Yeah, but I think, if they think it's important to them, then I think it's fine. I think it's really important for people to continue traditions. And I do think in some ways some traditions are good to be gone, but then I think it's sad when different cultures lose their traditions and, things that frame them, so I think sometimes it is good to keep them going.
Do you think we're losing a lot of that? Like with the generation that's coming through, there's a lot of things we're losing that I think, that should stick around.
Yeah, I do. And
Absolutely.
some of it is probably a little bit what Kerry touched on. It's good manners.
Yes.
To some people.
Yeah.
And it's good to keep that level. Yeah.
I would imagine a father would have a lot more respect for his prospective son-in-law just by doing the action.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
I'd like to think so.
I think if you've been dating your partner for like 2 years and you've already built that relationship, it's not like you're sort of going and asking the dad, like he knows it's going to happen, and
I think that's the difference, is that you'll have traditions where it is expected, or cultures where it is expected and you couldn't do it without it, and I think that's where it needs to be important and stay. But like in my sense, I mean, I've never been married, but not that I haven't been asked. I want to make that clear. But it wasn't ever important in our family. It wasn't something that we would have been expected to do. So you just, you don't do it and you don't think about it. But
I don't think Pete asked my dad.
No, we work on the basis of, the father doesn't own the daughter. It's that whole thing of your children are free, and that. Yeah. So there is that side of it as well that you could look at and say, well, why would you have to ask that permission? Because you don't actually own those children. You don't own anybody. So there is the view of that you can take as well. But I think it depends on where you sit in that family and the culture behind it, or religious reasons behind it.
Yeah, it's a very individual thing.
Yeah, it is.
And too, we're getting married older.
True.
When my parents got married, they were 19 and 18.
This is true,
And now, it's
they're
more
waiting, aren't they,
28, 30.
Yeah. I think Pete when I married Pete, he was 36. So, at that point, you sort of feel like, well, you're an adult. And
you make your own
in some cases, parent yourself when you're getting married.
Then you got the reverse, so 12 and 13-year-olds now think they're already adults, so why would they?
Yes.
And I guess now, too, we'd have some men having to ask the wife-to-be her children.
Yes.
I've heard that happening.
Yes, so true.
That's where they've asked the
second
permission of the...
Yeah, that's true.
So there's been a bit of research this week on alcoholism where our teens have sort of steered away from alcoholism, going more towards the methamphetamines. Are we seeing that generational change coming through the ranks now, where they're not really interested in alcohol and it is going down that drug route? And how do we cope with that?
It seems to be. I think the biggest problem, for the youth, from what I certainly don't profess to be an expert in this area, what I see, and I don't see a lot of the news, so I don't really sort of concentrate on it too much, but I just think that they are lacking in confidence and direction and role models and mentoring, and that's just an easy way out for them, and it is too accessible.
That's what I'm saying. How, at 15 or 16 or even 17, I don't understand how they get the money.
Well, it's not expensive. That's the problem. Well, this is the only reason I know. I went to a health retreat last year, and at the retreat, there was a young girl coming down from the methamphetamine, and because we used to get into the sauna 2 or 3 times a day, we had a lot of time to talk, and she spoke to me about, she lived on the Gold Coast, and she could call somebody and in 20 minutes it would be delivered to her door.
Wow.
And it isn't that expensive. So from her, what she explained to me, it's cheaper than alcohol, it's cheaper than, well, not necessarily cheaper than alcohol, but it's definitely cheaper than marijuana. And it's not like cocaine, it's not as expensive as cocaine, so they do call it the poor man's cocaine. So, but it's even if she was trying to come down from it, it's a phone call and it's 20 minutes away.
That's atrocious.
And that's what it is the most addictive drug that there is. And I remember seeing a program on it probably, I would say 10 years ago now, maybe, 10 years ago. and it was a Sunday afternoon, and I was watching television. It was a rainy day, and I saw this program, and I'll never forget it. And I rang my nieces the next morning, and I said to them, if you ever accidentally or on purpose take this drug, you call me the next morning. We have to have an agreement. I made them write an agreement with me because it's the most addictive. So whereas you could take something else and then the next day think, oh, that was a mistake, and you can't. It's once you've taken it, you're in. And that's what scared me the most.
Yeah. I find it really hard to comprehend. You know, we're really coming down on the whole cigarette. You know, like you can't display cigarettes anymore.
True.
You can't smoke within 4 meters of an
4
entrance.
meters, I
And
think.
you know, there's all these stipulations, but they've just opened an ice, clinic or an ice centre where you can go and safely do ice, or you can, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? I mean, cigarettes is also, classed as a drug and as addictive. So in one hand you're saying, cigarettes, we're going to start taxing you higher, or we want to abolish cigarettes, but you're condoning an ice clinic.
Yeah.
Aren't you just creating...
Yeah, I get scared as to, and going back to your first point, Jane, why are the younger ones looking for it? It's scary. I didn't know how easy it was and affordable it was. And growing up in the 60s, 70s,
marijuana was your choice.
And I do remember once being exposed to, I think it was called acid back then. Frightened the living daylights. Just frightened the living daylights out of me and my friend, and we ran. And we literally ran, said we don't want any part of this. We were by no means prudes.
Oh no, sensible.
But it was just too frightening. So somehow I had the will to not need any heavy drugs. And that's what scares me today.
Yeah.
The need, why do they need it?
Yeah.
I was the same.
I have.
But I do feel, because I just being with this girl for every day, I mean, it was just heartbreaking. And
Did she say why? Like why she decided to start?
She'd had problems in her life, and it was escapism, and while she was taking that, while she knew it wasn't good for her, it just placed her in a better place in her world, emotionally and mentally and physically, into the world of everything's okay, in the world of I feel empowered, because then that's what my understanding of the drug, and again, not an expert, but my understanding of it is that it does give you that feeling of I can be anything I want to be, and we all want to feel like that. We all want to wake up in the morning and feel like that the minute we wake up, and trying to get that naturally in our world is a challenge.
So it is that time of the day that we love so much here on the Wine O'Clock Show, and it is Never Have I Ever. Have you guys played or seen the game?
I've seen it. No, God.
I'm not going to like this, am I?
I'm going to give you a paddle. I have.
Yeah.
I have never.
Right.
And I'm going to ask you some questions, and you have to answer truthfully, Jane.
Right.
When you play Never Have I Ever, and there is no sitting on the fence.
I was going to say, and
You
Jane,
either
you
have
can't have it like that.
I could go like that.
And if you've got a really cool story that goes along with it, we like to hear it
Okay.
too. All right, so I will start off with an easy one just to get the ball rolling.
So
Look at this.
I'm a little bit nervous.
Never have I ever jumped from a roof. Really? I have. We used to jump from our roof into the pool.
No.
I better not tell. I better not tell.
We're so sensible.
Oh, the pool was too far from the...
Oh no, so we lived in Currumbin and we had a house, and we used to climb onto the garden shed, onto the roof, and then jump from the roof into the
I
garden.
used to sunbake on the roof.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
But I've never jumped. Yeah, could you get a better tan with the reflection?
Yeah, the reflection from the
On
old
tin roof.
Yeah, tin roof.
Corrugated iron.
So
We're a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
So you climb onto the roof of your house to sunbake?
Yeah.
And put lots and lots of oil.
Coconut oil.
Yes.
With a tincture of iodine in
That's it.
Yeah.
Iodine?
Yeah, don't
What
do
is
it.
that?
Don't do it. No, we're not advocates.
Ever do it. That's what we were never told. Like, we didn't have that education.
We didn't have
right.
sunscreen then.
No.
Right.
In our day.
Back in the
Day.
Back in the day. But we could
when the horses pulled the cars.
We could. Where Petey said.
Oh, dear.
Never have I ever accidentally said I love you to someone.
Never have I accidentally said, oh, I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think, no, not accidentally.
Yeah. I did the other day, about 6 months ago. I was doing a deal with Westfields for a shop in Westfields in Sydney, in the CBD off Pitt Street there. So we've been there 5 years and we were renewing. So I was dealing with the leasing agent. And they're nice people. And one of the guys, they're very tall, very, sort of fairly good looking. That's how they sort of operate, and they're always in their suits, and and there was 2 of them there, and I'd been dealing with this one guy. Anyway, we were leaving this meeting at the coffee shop, and I was with the other co-founder of Secrets, and he was talking to someone. We're in the busy shopping centre, and I was waiting for another appointment, so my mind wasn't there, and we were outside the shop, and it was crazy, and he said to me, well, lovely to meet you, Jane, and he put out his hand, and I turned and said, oh yes, I love you too. I love you too. To the Westfield leasing man when you're in a negotiation.
what did he say?
He just went, oh.
Did he go, oh, you've been thinking about in the meeting?
Sorry, he just
Were
said,
you thinking about naming your first child after?
The next dog.
And he just looked at me and I went, no, I don't love you. I said, I'm really sorry. And he's just like, yeah, sure, Jane. Yeah. And he was walking away and I was like, I was left with it.
Oh, you made his day.
It was awful. And then the other guy that had been with us, he yells out, do you love me too? I just wanted to, the hole in the floor. So yes, I have.
Mortifying.
It was mortifying. I got wobbly legs from it because you can't take it back.
You turned around and said, she lovely.
Yeah. So I'm so careful now when I'm saying goodbye to people.
Yes.
Be present. Be present.
Yeah, I know I wasn't. You're right. I wasn't. Yeah.
Never have I ever laughed so hard I peed.
Oh.
I've never.
I have.
Little bit.
Just
a little bit. Yeah.
As you get older.
Nothing to worry about.
No floodgates.
Oh, no.
I'd be worried about my couch.
No.
No.
This touches on the subject we were talking about before. Never have I ever smoked marijuana.
Oh, does this go to the Lord? Oh, it's past tense, isn't it?
Used to. Boy, do you still do it now?
No.
Fence.
Oh, Jane, there's no fence sitting.
You have or you haven't?
Hang on. Politician. I don't remember. I don't recall that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Should we let her get away with that,
Don't recall
Kerry?
it.
I don't know.
Don't recall it.
Recall it. There's your answer.
I think I was,
I did.
I don't know, 15 to... My mother's probably going to kill me now. 15 to 18.
I've had a puff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was
wasn't
in my early
something-
20s.
Yeah, never interested me. People around me were smoking a lot because obviously at that age group that's what you
Yeah.
did. And I had some and then I thought, oh, it makes me really quiet. And I was never quiet, being a Leo. And so I didn't like being quiet. So I wasn't attracted to it. So
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
it wasn't something
That's
that played out in my
how
world.
I was introduced to it. I was in a stressful job.
Yeah.
And I was having trouble sleeping, which, if sleeping was in the Olympics, I'd win gold. And
you're so lucky.
a friend that was living with us, we were in shared housing, and he said, look, just try some of this and see if you sleep okay.
Yeah.
And
You did?
I did,
Yeah.
and I slept great. So it didn't become a habit, thankfully.
Yeah.
But it served its purpose.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, I just did it.
But like
my boyfriend
Joan.
was doing it at the time.
Yeah,
He used to grow it in the backyard.
Oh, did he?
In Tasmania. He lived on this big acreage and he used to grow it. And
Yeah.
That's what he
fun
did.
games.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
That was his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have a thing. Yeah.
It has. I believe it has its purpose, but again, that's another conversation.
Of course it is. Yeah. Absolutely.
Never have I ever gone out in public without a bra.
Oh.
I have. All the
I
time.
have.
I've got no boobs, so it doesn't matter. People can't tell if I have a bra on or not.
Never have I gone out in public. I don't think I have.
I did.
Not even to
last
race down to
Saturday
the shop to
night.
get like milk or something, and you just can't be fag putting on your bra.
No, I've gone out without makeup and regretted it because you always rub into everybody.
Always.
And I've gone out in a, my sort of like homeware, not my active wear,
Not your
homeware.
Have you got out in your own boots?
I don't have Ugg boots.
Don't you?
No,
Don't believe in
don't
Ugg
fit my stomach. No, I don't. I'm going to go. I don't.
Never? It was, what was it, last Saturday night, did you say?
Saturday night, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think I might try it. Yeah, freedom.
I love it.
I was at a black tie.
Oh,
Get the right dress,
Yep.
and you don't need a bra.
Oh, well, I probably haven't. Yeah, I've probably done that. But the dress is actually supported. I haven't just
Fully gone.
Yeah.
fully been free.
Oh,
about-
no,
what about
I
the
can't
mango
do
then?
that.
No.
No?
As often as possible.
Do you?
Wow. What's wrong
Free
with
as a
my
bird.
life?
Free as a bird.
I'm a bit too controlled, aren't I?
Jane will go home this afternoon and go braless and undie and walk around the
Wow.
house with,
Shock myself.
Put a caftan on. Make sure the dress is long enough,
Yeah.
This sort of dress is no
I
good
think
for that.
I need to rethink my world.
Next time we'll see you, she'll have
We've got birthdays coming up.
I'm not
Caftan and Ugg boots.
Make sure it's not on a windy day. Oh, never have I ever gotten a tattoo. Never?
Never.
No, never either. And
Oh,
never.
we're three. What? Somebody called it the other. Oh, there's a name for us.
Oh.
We have a name now.
Who don't have tattoos?
do we?
Who don't have tattoos? I can't remember what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, no. Never
There's a name for us now.
have I ever kissed a girl.
What sort of kissing?
Any kissing.
More than the cheek thing.
Yeah, more than the cheek.
Oh,
On
yeah,
the
on the
lips.
lips I have, yeah.
Bit of tongue.
Yeah.
No, just joking. Tell us your story. Because I know there is one.
There's always a story with me.
I don't recall.
I was out with two very, very good girlfriends, and we'd worked together and lived together over the years, and we caught up after 5 or 6 years without seeing each other. And of course there was alcohol involved and dancing and fun, and one of the girls, we were all single, and one of the girls met up with an ex-boyfriend, and they got a bit kissy-kissy in the nightclub.
Yep.
And the other girl and I were making fun of them. And we're going, kissy, kissy. And we were just being silly girls.
Yeah.
And then we started kissing. And it was,
Did she
No.
slip this on you?
no.
Oh.
I wanted to. But I thought, this is why boys like kissing us girls.
We're soft.
So soft and sweet.
Didn't sway you to go down that path? No?
No. But I never forgot that kiss.
Yeah, because it's different.
Memorable moment.
It was.
Would you do it again? Putting your, like, shining the light. Like, it's like
I don't know. I think there'd have to be a lot of alcohol involved. Don't know. And I think it would could only be with her again.
Are
Yeah.
you still friends with her?
Yeah.
Do you still reminisce about that night?
Never spoken about it.
Remember when?
No, we had no
Just in
idea.
case my lips weren't as sweet as hers, I don't want to know that.
Oh, girls.
But she's never married.
Oh, really?
Oh, she's probably waiting.
She's pining for you. Grab your wines. We're going to cheers. Thank you
Cheers.
so much for joining me on the show today. It's been hilarious.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. And Kerry, again, where can they go to find all about Beyond Brilliant Foundation?
BeyondBrilliant.org. Or the Facebook page, just pop in Beyond Brilliant.
Yep.
And yeah, do go, because with Secrets we've got some brilliant bling coming out.
Very special.
Where can people find secrets?
At Secrets Shhh. www.secrets-shhh.com.
Yep. Or
Or in Noosa, in
Noosa,
Hastings Street.
And you've got shops
And
throughout
Facebook.
Queensland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
throughout Australia. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful jewellery.
Fantastic.
We're all blinged out with our
Yes, we
secrets.
are.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of The Wine O'Clock Show, and a big thank you to Kerry Phairs from Beyond Brilliant Foundation and the gorgeous Jane Meredith from Secrets. Be sure to like The Wine O'Clock Show on Facebook, like us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to The Wine O'Clock Show on YouTube. Until next week, kick off those shoes, grab yourself a wine, have a fabulous weekend, and a great week ahead.